Reparative moves. What is a reparative move? Well, when you have conflict or hurt or any type of break in a relationship, a reparative move is what you do to restore the connection. It may not necessarily fix the problem. That may take a really, a deep conversation. It may take counseling. It may take, something else. But a reparative move is what you do to restore connection. Now, why is that important? Because anytime that you have an argument or you say something that is harsh, or maybe the other person says something that is harsh, but you care about that person in the relationship, and that person is not willing to move toward you, maybe you want to make the reparative move to open up the conversation. Maybe that person is struggling with something, or that's a difficult situation, or that person has a hard time being honest about feelings or whatever it is. But a reparative move is what you do, and it could be something really simple. It's anything that you do that attempts to bring the relationship back to a place of connection and healing. So, first one is humor. Humor is great. It's like gives it a light touch. It's like it doesn't have to be, it could be about anything. It could be about the person, something that you know about that person. It could be about yourself. It could be kind of self-deprecating to where you just kind of lighten it. It could be about something else that you know that the person laughs at. I will give you an example of humor with a situation like that. Is this one just came to my mind. I have a history of being kind of anxious and controlling in my relationship with my kids, with my husband, and my husband in the past had always been kind of critical about it and really harsh responding to it. And that did not go anywhere because that would cause an argument, or it would cause, I feel like I needed to defend myself. So one day I said something that was kind of controlling, or was like kind of like a comment that would be like not just letting it go, but having to say something or questioning what he was doing. And instead of responding harshly, he just looked at me and smiled. And I said, "Oh, that was controlling, wasn't it? I'm sure you can handle it without me telling you how to do it." And then we both laughed. That was a reparative mood. He actually reached out toward me, even though I was the one who said something that was kind of, annoying. So, but it was with humor. So it actually was with a gesture, but it was kind of with a little twinkle in his eye that was kind of saying, "This is, you want to ask yourself something here?" So that was, to me, it felt like humor. Um, so it could be any kind of humor to lighten it up. The second one is apologizing. If you have an argument or a disagreement with somebody, and you can be the first to apologize, and that brings you back into connection. It may make it safer for the other person to apologize, but at least, even if they don't, then at least you have done your part in reconnecting. And that is like super helpful. And at least you will walk away having done your part. But usually, when you apologize, it causes softness and person coming towards you also. Also, reconnecting to start a conversation. Like if there was an argument that happened before at a different time, and you're the one that reconnects by opening up the conversation, that is a way of a reparative move, because you're saying, "I'm willing to talk about this." So you move toward the problem and open up the conversation. It might even be just with, "When are you willing to talk to me about this?" Or, "I'd like to talk about what happened," or, "I'd like to get a better understanding of what was going on with you." Just you being the one to start the reconnection. Then the next one is kindness. doing something kind, doing something special for the person. It might, maybe you go to bed and you had an argument with your spouse, but when that spouse wakes up in the morning, you have a sweet note by their coffee cup, or you put out their bowl for cereal and you put a note in it that says, just wanted to lighten your load this morning, or thinking of you, I love you, or whatever that is, or bringing somebody a glass of iced tea, or a cup of tea when they're sitting there, kind of stressed, or they're doing their work, maybe at home, or they're on the laptop, whatever it is, just doing something kind, bringing somebody flowers. That could be a reparative move, obviously. And if somebody is making a reparative move, it is really good practice that you do not diss it. Do not like push it away. Don't take the flowers, break them in two, and throw them in the trash. At least accept the gesture for what it is. Now, you may have a history of that person being manipulative. And if you do, then obviously you need to take that into consideration, and other actions need to follow, and not just the reparative move, but at least take that at face value and recognize that person is trying to do something. So kindness, it could be anything that is kind. It could be picking up the kids after school for you, knowing that, you're stressed, and that's a way of saying, I'm sorry that we had the argument. I want to help you out. And then the last one is touch, whether it's a hug, or touching the hand, or touching, soft touch on the shoulder. If it's a kiss on the cheek, maybe after you've had an argument and your spouse is getting ready to leave, you kind of give them a hug, or kiss them on the cheek, and you don't have to solve the argument that you had right then, but that's letting the person know, I'm moving towards you, I still love you. Same thing with a child. Uh, Obviously this could be done through a text, it could be done through an email if you're sending a message of that's conveying one of these. So it doesn't even have to be in person. It could be uh, a way of just moving toward that person, letting them know, I want to step out and I want to fix this. So in dysfunctional relationships, people don't often make reparative moves. They get angry, they cut you off, they get mad, they get stubborn, they're proud, they are resentful, they're angry, they get moody, they hold things against you, they get blaming, they get defensive about their own stuff. There's just all kinds of things. So you got to know, okay, when somebody else doesn't make a reparative move, do I want to make it? Now, you don't want to do it if it's not safe. If the person is unsafe, and by having you admit that, it's going to be like something that is going to be used against you, then please don't. If something big has happened, you just found out your spouse had an affair, obviously not the moment for you to be making a reparative move. That's got a lot to process and a lot to deal with, and that person is going to have to be doing a lot of the reparative moves themselves, and it's not up to you to make a first move, but I'm talking about normally in a relationship. God reaches out to us even when we are not faithful, and he is that we know he's there, but he will often reach toward us. There's all kinds of people who have stories, and I'm sure you have times in your life when you have just felt like God has reached towards you and just said, come back to me, or I'm here for you, or I love you, even when you're kind of separated from him. So that's not unusual for God to do that with us. So you need to ask yourself, like, do I make reparative moves, or am I usually stubborn? And do I need to begin to make reparative moves? Or how can reparative moves help you in your relationships, help to bring healing? Romans 12:18 says, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Now that's if it is possible, as far as it depends on you. You can't do the other person's part. You can do your part. You make your reparative move. you make your effort, and then the other person has to come forward and has to be willing to repair in order for it to be repaired. And Matthew 5:23 reminds us that if you are offering your gift at the altar and remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First, go and be reconciled to your brother, then come and offer your gift. So we are to make an effort to make a reparative move with somebody that we know has something against us. So I hope that this has helped you, and I hope that you will think about it and remember to drop your pride, because a lot of times it's pride that makes us not want to make a reparative move, and begin to take steps to bring healing in your relationships. Remember, you can use humor, apologizing, taking the first step to reconnect, kindness, and touch. All of those things are ways that you can make reparative moves. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll check other of my YouTube videos and my website. I have classes and books and all kinds of things, studies that you can do on your own, but my classes are awesome. So, and you will learn so much, and it's like it's a support group too with the discussion groups. So please check it out. Thank you. God bless.